Hello everyone, welcome to the discussion of class test 19. So today we shall be discussing two questions. So our first question is from GS paper 3 and it says discuss the measures proposed in the Union Budget 2024-25 to achieve the goal of Viksit Bharat. Okay. So actually, this is very direct question. Means basically you have to only discuss the proposals. What all proposals are discussed in the recent budget. Okay. So this will be our basic structure as we always follow: introduction, body, and conclusion. Okay. So basically in introduction what you can write that in recent budget 2024-25 Union government has prioritized nine key areas. Okay, so overall these 9 key areas will help India to achieve the goal of Viksit Bharat. So in body part you have to discuss these 9 key areas. Okay, so let's start discussion of our body part. So see, 9 key priority areas will be product. So first key priority area is the productivity and resilience in agriculture. Okay, so under this government has taken various steps. So for this answer you can discuss one or two steps for the each priority area. Okay, so basically for example here you can discuss about climate resilient varieties. Okay, climate resilient, promotion of climate resilient varieties. Second, I think you can discuss about Atmanirbharta mission under oil seeds. Okay, so Atmanirbharta mission for oil seeds. Here you can discuss. More also you can discuss, but I think basically remembering at least 1 and 2 is important for all the 9 key priority areas. Second, it comes to employment and skills. Employment and skill development. So see, here also what government introduced? Employment linked incentives. Government introduced employment linked incentives. And second thing what you can discuss is the model skill loan scheme. So these kind of initiatives you can discuss here. Now third key priority area is the inclusive human resource development and social justice. So here basically first you have to think about the key stakeholders. For example, if we are talking about social justice, you can think about the tribal population. Okay, so recently there was scheme Pradhan Mantri Janjati Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. So here government has introduced initiatives to promote this scheme. Okay, also you can discuss an important initiative like Purvodaya, where basically the areas under northeastern states will be focused upon. So in order to ensure overall inclusive development. Okay, now coming to manufacturing and services. So here also you can discuss some of the initiatives about MSMEs. Like recently what government did, the limit under Mudra scheme is increased from 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs. Okay, for certain categories. Okay, also you can discuss about the credit support which will be provided in the public sector banks for the MSMEs. So these all you can discuss other initiatives also, not a problem. So we have discussed 4 key priority areas. Now coming to urban development. So for urban development you can discuss about transit oriented development. What happens in transit oriented development? Overall development takes place near the key transportation areas. For example, all the development takes place near the metro line, for example. Okay, government is also focusing about the street markets in urban areas. Now coming to energy security. So basically in energy security you can discuss about the participation of private sector in nuclear energy. Okay, you can basically discuss about the Bharat small reactor. Also you can discuss about a famous scheme Pradhan Mantri Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. Here the government of India is promoting the use of solar panels, solar energy. Okay, now coming to infrastructure development. So here you can discuss about the fourth phase of Pradhan Mantri Sadak Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. Okay, here you can also discuss about various corridors like Mahabodhi corridor. Mahabodhi corridor, which will be developed under the tourism sector. Infrastructure sector. Now we talk about our 8th key priority area is the innovation and R&D. So here you can discuss about the involvement of private sector. Also here you can discuss about Anusandhan Kendra. Okay. Now coming to 9th priority area, which is next generation reforms. So next generation reforms, you can include various things. Like for example, here you can include about the financing. Here financing for climate adaptation and mitigation strategies. You can include areas like the new kind of innovations in the pension policies. These all things, all the next generation reforms can be included under this. Okay. So I think we are done with the body part. Now in conclusion, what you can say, In conclusion, what you can say, that though government has included 9 key priority areas which will help India to achieve the aim of Viksit Bharat by 2047, but a lot of things have to be done before we achieve this aim. Okay, a lot of things like India have to focus on the main structural issues. For example, the startups in India are still facing issue. Means what is happening? Generally people are chasing few government exams or few jobs. So if a startup ecosystem is very simplified in India, then people can take their own job also. They can start their own business. So the root cause in India has to be addressed. So in conclusion, you can say that focus on 9 key priority areas is a very good initiative, but government has basically to focus on the implementation part and the structural issues in the economy. Okay, so now coming to second question. So it's from GS paper 2, which is talking about fundamental rights. So basically we have to discuss the importance of fundamental rights along with its limitations. Okay, so I think it is a very direct question. So we can again divide this question in 3 parts: introduction, body and conclusion. And simply in introduction, you can define what are fundamental rights. Okay, so easily you can say that they are enshrined under part 3 of the Constitution and they are taken from the Constitution of USA. And what you can say about, you can mention about the term of Magna Carta, that they are considered as Magna Carta of India. Okay, so these all terms you can easily get in your textbook. Now coming to body part. So in body part, first you have to discuss their importance. Okay, and then you have to discuss the limitations also. So see, what all points I will be discussing here, for all those points you have to write the examples also. I will just discuss some of the key points. So writing about the importance of fundamental rights, it's very easy to think from the articles only. Article 14, 15, 16, 17. So what are the points under those articles? So you can write points from there only. For example, what Article 14 says? It ensures right to equality. So basically, what is the importance of fundamental rights? It ensures equal and inclusive society. It ensures equal and inclusive society. Now you have to give example here. You have to give example how it ensures equal and inclusive society. Okay. Next we can say it ensures social justice. How it ensures social justice? Here you can give example of Article 15 or Article 16. Okay, or you can give example, no, recently government granted 10% reservation for EWS sections. So it is also example for this only. Okay. Fundamental rights, you can also say fundamental rights help to deal with the issues or challenges with which the society is seeing in the recent times. How you can say? I will explain this with an example. That no, recently what Supreme Court has said, that right to clean environment comes under Article 21. Right to clean environment comes under Article 21. Okay, right to clean, and basically you can include here right to pleasant climate also. So over a period of time, these climatic issues are people are facing more and more. So Supreme Court is interpreting fundamental rights to tackle these kind of issues also. Okay. So basically you can write importance on these lines only. Now if we talk about limitations, so very important limitation is that they are not permanent. They can be easily amended by the parliament. Only the basic structure cannot be amended. Obviously it cannot be amended, but other fundamental rights can be amended by the parliament. Okay, and second thing what we can say, that during the time of emergency also they can be curtailed, means they can be taken away from the people. So it is also one of its limitations only. Okay, and third what you can discuss, there are various words which are mentioned under fundamental rights. For example, if you read Article 19, so you overall the right is written, there's this such and such rights are given to the people of India, and after that limitations or restrictions are given, that based on public morality or based on morality or public order or security, these things, based on these things your rights can be curtailed. But the thing is, the words like morality or public order are not clearly defined, that what does they mean. So it can be interpreted in many ways. So yes, you can write limitations on these lines and importance on these lines. Okay, and after that you can write conclusion. What you can write? That even though there are certain limitations for the fundamental rights, but overall we can say that fundamental rights are very important to deal with the challenges which the citizens of India are facing day by day, and to protect the rights of even the marginalized sections of the society. Okay, so I think this was very direct question, but with examples, you can get very good marks in these kind of questions. So yes, this was the discussion of class test 19. So we will meet in the discussion of class test 20. So thank you.